Hello everyone, my name is Mirna. On behalf of the Mindalia TV team, welcome to Mindalia live streaming, where thousands of people around the world gather daily to see the lectures and interviews organized by Mindalia TV. Today with us, Angel Ribo, CEO, consultant, TV host, international public speaker, and president of the Wisdom for Kids Foundation, is being joined in co-hosting with our dear Stan Sorensen. Stan is the president and founder of the Healing Exchange Center. Before starting with them, we want to remind you that Mindalia's mission is to share information that can help raise the level of consciousness around the world, and you can help us by subscribing to our channel, leaving us a positive comment down this video, or sharing it with someone that you know that is going to benefit of the content that we're going to be talking here today. Also, while we are live streaming, we have the active chat screen that you're going to be seeing here on my side or under the screen. If you are seeing us from a smartphone, you can enter your questions there. We also want to remind you that you can collaborate with Mindalia with your own valuable content. And for that, you can go to our website. On the top, you're going to find a link that says Collaborate with Mindalia. That link is going to take you to a form that you can fill out, and our technical team will be getting in contact with you. Remember, you can collaborate with us in Spanish through Mindalia Televisión, in English through Mindalia TV English, as you already know, and in Portuguese through Mindalia Televisão. Visit our different websites, our different channels, YouTube accounts, Instagram accounts. Follow us. In that way, you help us reach as much people as possible, and also you keep yourself updated with the interesting content that we're going to be developing there on a daily basis. We're not going to be delaying this any further. I'm going to be leaving you with Angel, with Stan, and our special guest today, Laura Hidalgo, a published author that's going to be talking with us today. Guys, welcome to Mindalia live streaming. The screen is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mirna, for having us or for introducing us today. And it's a pleasure to have you again with us on Mindalia, Stan. Welcome back.
Well, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure.
Excellent. So, there's been a week since we had our last show, and you're bringing today to us someone extremely special. What can you tell us about Laura?
Well, I can't tell you a lot because I didn't bring my notes. But what I do know about Laura, we had a nice chat. She speaks very well about her life. We had a nice long chat about a week ago. But the reason that I even spoke to Laura in the first place is because of our friend Marcy, who was actually here on our show, 2 or 3 weeks ago. And Marcy said, you gotta interview this friend of mine. And then Marcy told me a little bit that Laura is an author. She's written a book. I think the title of the book in English is Connection, but there's probably a Spanish word for connection. So we'll get to that and let Laura tell us about that at some point. But other than that, I don't know a lot, and I want to know more about Laura. And I have a question for Laura.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready, Laura?
Okay. Yes, I'm very happy to be here.
I believe that you were raised up kind of like most people are raised up in their families, and they are kind of conditioned to be a certain way according to what pleases their families, their parents, their friends, their teachers, and on and on and on.
Okay.
And I believe at some point in your life, you said, or you thought, I'm not going to be able to go that way anymore. I have to find my own way.
That's right.
And I would like to know what it was, what event or what happened to start you thinking differently, that you had to be somebody, you had to let yourself come out. Because I see you as an example of kind of like a coming out person.
Okay.
And being yourself.
Okay.
So how'd that get started?
Okay. Well, thank you very much for having me here. It's my great pleasure. And yes, there is an before and an after of Laura. And it comes to me I turned 50 years old last year. And I was trying to do something different to celebrate my birthday. And some years ago, after I got a divorce and I came to have more time with me, after raising my kids, I have a girl 23 and a guy 21, and I started having more time for me because they go to their schools, they go to their work. So I started studying about personal development and self-esteem, and I discovered there is Laura with lots of passions and lots of things to do that probably I hadn't have time or hadn't have the opportunity to look inside me. And after all these studies, I found a lot of things pendant in my life, issues to be done. But I was a bit scared because I've always dreamed to have my book and to share a book and write my lines. But I'm a fashion designer. I have been a beauty consultant for 18 years, and I have not been or something to do a book. And I was a bit shy. I would never do it because who would care to read my story or my lines or what I have to share? And but I had this feeling that I need to do things that I really love inside me, and I started to listen to my heart. Actually, in so many videos of Mindalia, I have followed many coaches that always talk about listen to your heart, go for what you really want. And I say, let's do it. Let's do it. And well, I wanted to share something because I'm convinced that when I learn something, the best way to have it on my mind is to share it. I have always liked to teach, to give lectures. In my job, I can do lectures with groups of ladies when I work with my consultant teams. So I'm convinced that when I prepare a lecture and I'm having my notes, I fix them. So I always think that if I learn something, I will die and I will have it with me. So I like to share with people what I learn. So all these discoveries, so many lessons learned, I said I need to go and share with people a little bit of my life, of my story. And if someone may need my testimony as part of their life, somebody can share. And well, it came to me last year when I was turning 50 that I said, it's time to do it. I will do. I love to travel. I'm always traveling in Mexico or in other places. And I said, I'm going to do a trip inside me. So this was my adventure, to follow my heart and come and write my story. I had some lessons online with a great teacher in another city. So she was guiding me and she said, you stop your mind and you write your message, what you want to write, and you just keep writing and writing. So she helped me fix this adventure. And when I finished, I saw my story, my lines, my dream. And it was amazing because on my 50-year-old birthday, this was a dream with my family, with my friends. But what I always think is that every lady, I guess men too, but I talk to women, and I always find ladies forgotten about themselves. Like we are used to going traditions with family, with looking after the kids, looking after the husband, looking at me for. So I'm very happy to say I'm 50. Great things are coming on now that I have time to look in my side. Many women don't say their age, but I think it's very great moment to make an inventory of our lives and see what we have at this moment, which activities, which friends. How is our health? Women go through many periods of menopause, emptiness, so many things that if we make an inventory, how are we looking after us? Like leave children a little while, leave the family, but come inside and see what is it that we want? What is it that we haven't done because we're taking care of others, which is great. But if we are doing a bit of what connect us. My book name is Conexión 49, Connection 49. As Stan was saying, connection, conexión, because it's Conexión 49 is when I connected myself into doing what I was really, really feeling passionate for. And this is the connection. I want everybody to get connected with themselves at some point, to do what they really feel. Sometimes I talk to people and they say, I wanted to be a singer or a writer, or I wanted to skate, but they forgot about that because they're only looking into the family, into children, grandchildren, or others, and they don't feel important as to leave others to bring their own dreams. So that's like my message. And
So,
yes.
excuse me. No, thank you. What a beautiful story. And I was going to ask you, are you a Mexican national?
Yes, I'm from Mexico.
Okay,
yes.
good. So because the question is, so it's a two-part question. Okay, so the first one is, do you consider yourself to be a typical 50-year-old Mexican woman, and how do you connect? How do you think that you connect with the 50-year-old Mexican women?
Okay. I feel, of course, I'm like a normal Mexican 50-year-old girl, but I can say I feel this connection just looking inside, hearing to me. Maybe the time came when my girl came to live alone and my boy went to college, and then I have the time. And instead of feeling lonely or feeling, oh, I'm 50, I feel better than ever in my life. Even this year has started with projects because I have a lot of dreams. And last year I said, now I am a writer, but maybe in 6 months I would like to try gardening, flowers, and I will study that. I am not stuck in, you are a beauty consultant for 18 years and you have to do this all your life. I can open my horizons, and I am convinced that we have to do what we really need to do, because if we are aligned, right, thinking, thoughts, words, and actions in the same direction, everything is coming. When I started with the book, then I came to be invited to a group of authors, and now I participate with another Mexican authors in some lectures. And then my publisher is doing some other lectures. Like everything started flowing in the same direction. So it's amazing that when you are connected with what you really like to do, other people in this synchrony come together. They are in the same mood. So I get connected with others. So I can say, yes, I'm very typical, Mexican typical, but I really feel free to do what I need to do. And I see other ladies are connecting in this moment. Some maybe because they're with the children smaller, or taking care of family or mother, or doing their jobs. Probably some others haven't heard yet because they have to do other important things for them. But I'm sure and I'm convinced that even if you have a lot of job, a very long day working, maybe the weekend, maybe during little moments, you can do what you like. You can write, you can plan, you can develop your dreams. And first of all, the most important is to know what you want to do. So you can find the moments to develop or get strategies or ideas or ask for help. But if you don't know what you do, then you will do nothing.
Yeah.
I answered that question.
Wow.
Oh yeah, you did. Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, I have a question that goes back to when you were talking about when you had a mentor and your mentor said, listen to your heart. And well, how do I do that? And then I think the mentor said, you have to stop your mind.
Yes.
You said that. Stop your mind. How did you stop your mind so that you could hear your heart? I'm curious. I want to know how you.
Because I wanted to. Okay. My book, and I said for my 50th-year-old birthday, my book. So I turned 49, September 4th, and then October and some trips, and November and December, and I hadn't started all the main text. So exactly 1 year ago, exactly today, 1 year ago, in a coaching, I was connected and I say, it's the time. If you want to do this, for you, it's my present, for me, for my family. In order to finish on September, you got to start. So I started writing with my pen and I started writing my story. And I was worried because I didn't know how to start, but I had a message. So I made a list, like the market list. And I said, I want to share these and I want to share. So I made a list of 27 issues I would like to share in my book. And then in this course online, this beautiful lady said, with all the ideas she gave me, my creativity exploded. And I say, I have more ideas. I don't know how to do it. And she said, either you write one book and then another, or you can share and mix and made a melange of all your ideas. And I say, wow, that's great. Because I had many experiences traveling. I had lived abroad. I'm passionate for discovering cultures, countries, traditions, flavors, sounds. So I write many of my experience, my trips, and that's life, doing what you feel like. So that's when I felt this connection, and writing when I said, no, I should not write this. No, what would somebody else would think if I'm not writing correctly? And then this is the moment when you say, stop your mind. You write what you feel. But nobody else will do it for me, and nobody else will do it for anyone. So I said, okay, let's do it. Stop the mind when it starts attacking on, or then no time, something else is coming. No. Stop the mind, come back to you, and let the pen write and flow. So it was a hard work because our mind is always thinking, you are not a writer, you shouldn't do it. How will you tell your story, or who is going to care? So I said, stop. I'll do it for me, because it was my present. I was always very happy when I go to a bookstore and I buy a book and the author signs for me, and I have wonderful, wonderful treasures in my table, in my bedroom, that are my best books. So I always had a dream to be signing books for others that will probably connect with me, and to share a little of all what I live. Finally, I think we all like the same. We like peace, we like health, we like holidays, we like nice things, and we have the same problems, right? Illness, to be angry. So I say, if my story may connect with someone and know that everything will go, everything will pass, and live the present time.
Okay, so you would catch yourself going into your old habit.
Yes.
Of thinking, I'm not this, I'm not that, maybe I can't do it. And you would catch yourself in that moment of awareness and then tell yourself, stop.
Yes. Yes.
And then refocus to the most important value that was on your mind at that time, which is writing, right?
Yes. And coming to the present, forget what you might not do, or if all the ifs. No, present. I want to write present, and that's really important for me.
Get into the here and now.
Yes.
Right. And out of those 27 issues, what was the most difficult issue for you to write in a book and share with the world?
Probably the most important.
Difficult.
Yes, the most difficult. Okay. I write a little about my divorce, but not my problems, but what happened to me after I came to be alone again, and all my feelings. And I'm talking about my family, about feelings, about what happened at home. So I was a bit worried because I didn't want to make a gossip about all this. It's just my story, but I know many people is going through a separation because either a divorce or getting widow. But people, we can go through difficult moments. But my message is always that if you elaborate and you work on that, you will come to something better. You can be in sad moments, but you always can come to better moments, and life is always like this. So writing that was really, really, really difficult because it came all my emotions again, and I connected. But it was like a very nice therapy myself, because writing down in a mood of gratitude about all the time I was married for 19 years, and I had to be a mother, and I could travel with my family, and I could be working at school with all other mommies and preparing the parties at school, and my family gave me lots of wonderful moments, and touching all those feelings again, and writing and crying and remembering all that story. That was a bit difficult. And then one day I came to my girl and I say, I want you to read this. And she says, you are writing something very intimate of our family. And I say, if you want me, I can erase everything what bothers you. And she says, no, Mom, it's okay. If you feel that sharing will be empathical with another ladies or families, it's okay. So that was really, I guess, the most difficult, because it touched all these feelings. But I say everything. If you have a great moment, it will pass. If you have a difficult moment, it will pass. So enjoy every moment you have. If you have work, if you're unemployed, if you are everything, it's a moment that we have to learn, and it will pass. And everything has a purpose. I have found out everything has a purpose.
Do you think that, Laura, do you think that we all keep, 27 issues is a long list of issues, Laura.
Yes.
Do you think that we still, not only women, but everybody, but we still keep like a dark side, something that we really want to hide, something that we still don't want to show anybody? When you were thinking about the list of issues before writing your book, did you have this conversation with you? Oh my God, I cannot explain this to anybody. This is going to be so hard. This is going to make everybody think that I'm not that person, I'm someone else. I don't know if I'm making my question clear.
When I decided to write, the first and most important thing is that I wrote for me. I wanted my book for me, for my mother, for my father, for my family. So when I cared, it was for me. It was making through another dream, because I'm a great dreamer, and I can say 99.9% of my dreams have come true, because I think a dream inspires me. So if it inspires me, everything I do is working for it. So when I decided it was for me, I hadn't published yet. So I wrote everything, all my feelings. I even wrote 3 more chapters that took me a long time. And at the end I say, no, I will erase them. So at the beginning it was difficult to get one page and another page, but I was not caring about amount of pages, but of my life, of my crisis, of my doing my dream. So at first it was not difficult. My teacher told me, well, if you have so many issues, try to gather together the things that might englobe one chapter. And so in one chapter I could put 7 of those issues, and then in another. So she helped me to do like order, these ideas. So no, when I said I'll do it and I'll go for it, everything changed, and it became easier. And I was really sharing to everyone, I'm writing my book, and it was a surprise for my family or for some friends, because I was not an author before. But I started listening to my heart, that every time when I have a problem, I write. Or if I have ideas, I write. Or since I was a teenager, I write in my diaries, my notes, my letters to friends. At school, I would do some papers, and I I like to write. So I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, and I'm writing more too.
I really like what you said about dreaming and your dreams coming true.
Yes.
Because right now I'm involved in a group. It's a kind of a master class on learning how to use intention.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the questions that came up in our big group was, what's the difference between a dream and an intention? Because a lot of people dream and their dreams don't go anywhere. They don't come true.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so somebody was saying, well, you have to take the dream and you have to make it an intention.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you take a dream and make it an intention, something that you will do, that you will intend to have happen? It becomes your kind of like your focus. Can you explain that?
Yes. I'm convinced that everything with some sense or an intention, maybe could be the same word, I guess, no? A purpose could be easier. Even if I want to plan some holidays at the beach, if the intention is to rest because I'm tired of my activities and I need to rest and share with my family, I guess that's a really important purpose. So everything that you put intention, it happens to me in my job when I wanted to be a consultant and then I wanted to be a leader in my team because I wanted to help other girls obtain what I have obtained at my job. And then I came to another position because I wanted to share with others and I wanted to other ladies be enjoying that same position. So that was an intention. I wanted to bring my girl to a trip when she was 15 years old because I wanted her to visit where she lived before when she was born. So that was a beautiful intention to take my daughter where the country she was lived. So I thought that was a great intention. And then you start working and then you start going for that purpose and it comes. And it has happened to me every time. So I guess it's not like thinking all the time in that purpose, but you dream it, you have the idea. I am used to do some collage and put some images, but not with a date or not sticking to it. Just, I'd love to do this trip. One time I put in my collage pictures of lots of young people, and I never been to San Francisco, and I was very excited to go, but in a group. And then probably 1 month later, my sister says, I want to bring your daughter to San Francisco with me. And I say, oh, but I want to go with you too and her family. So it was amazing because 1 year later or 10 months later, we did the trip. But it was just the intention to go in group with young people. And then my sister and my kids and her family and everybody went 10 months later. But it was the intention of, oh, I'd love to go in a trip with my kids and other people. And it was just dreaming and living it. It's not that I'm stuck to this idea and it needs to happen next year and with one date. And it's always like listening. I guess everyone has something, oh, I'd love to start a business, and maybe if I cook and I'm a great chef, I'd love to do cake. So it's just a dream. But if you don't pay attention to it, you forget it, or then you need to work to do other activities. But that little intention, that it's not so little, it goes. So we have to look here, to listen to us.
Yeah. My friend Marcy, who our friend in common,
yes,
has shared with us on Mindalia TV that
yes,
she made a major change in her vocation. You know, she trained up because of her family influence to become a dentist. And yet inside of her, she had this burning desire to be something different. She didn't want to do dentistry. She did that to please us. And then I think the reason she's attracted to you is that you may be one of her role models or one of her examples of somebody who said, I'm not going to just do what everybody else wants me to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. And I think that's amazing that you have an influence on people. I mean, Marcy is much younger. She's like,
yes,
I thought she was 22 when I first met her, but she's actually 33. And,
yes,
and she is making a big change in her life. And because I think she's being encouraged by you. And I think that is a wonderful gift that you have to share. And I'm glad that you're sharing that in your book, in our interview. And I'm just wondering what other plans you have for your future and where you're going. Where are you going next?
I learned in this past year, about uncertainty. Is that the word for
certainty?
Incertidumbre.
Oh, uncertainty.
So I was very controlling, always with my agenda for my life in working with the kids at school and as a mother and in my job. Everything had to be set up in advance, lots of things. So when I discovered this wonderful, marvelous world of uncertainty, I said, many things I had planned for my life didn't come. So I said, let's leave control. I plan things. I have my agenda. I have a job. I plan, but just plan. I don't mean to control everything anymore. So when all this acceptance of the things that flow every day, I started doing my book, my lectures, this past month on January, I was invited to do some projects with one of my teachers. And he asked me for one project, and now we're doing 5 projects in 1 month. And all new things are coming when I left control. So,
opened up.
Yes. And one of my friends, she's a Mexican author. She's inviting me to do some collaborations with her. She asked me for another interviews, and then she asked me to do some work on her radio station. So I'm open to receive what everything is there, to give it back. So on the other hand, I am giving on my book, on my lectures. I'm really pleased to be sharing with others. So what is coming up for me now? I'm writing now about my last trip. I was in India in October, and I was fascinated with that culture, people, traditions, distance, color. And I started writing my notes as a diary for my father. He was really sick the day we left on the trip. He was really sick. So I decided to write and relate all my notes of my trips and send him pictures. And then my notes came to maybe 100 people every time I was sharing. My mother sent my notes to her friends. And on this tour, I could share with some of the people of the tour, and they say, oh, I will write your notes. I will send them on WhatsApp to my family, because I was describing the temples, the food. I was describing everything. So my notes came to many, many people. And when I came back to Mexico, my friends would say, oh, I felt I was traveling next to you. I was in your back when you were walking in over the elephant. And I was meditating with you at the river at 4:30 in the morning when we came to when the day was starting every day. And in the afternoon, we came to the ceremonies of gratitude. So I am planning now another writing, another notes, and I'm preparing some lectures with my friends that are inviting me now. This afternoon, I'm coming with another friend that wants to have me in one of her lectures, so we can gain some extra money to pay our next trip. It's coming, just accepting.
That's exciting. You just reminded me of another person that I've heard about. Her name is Rama. Ramya. Ramya.
Ah, yes, yes.
You know a woman in Mexico named Ramya?
Yes, that's.
You know her?
Yes, she took me to India.
She took you to India.
Yes, yes,
Oh,
she was my
wonderful.
leader. Yes, she's a great, great woman. She lived in India lots of years when she was really young. And she has the mission to bring people to know these traditions and this culture. And I traveled with her 25 days in India. And it's a great person because she's such in love with all these traditions and she knows Hindi, Buddhism. It was an amazing, amazing adventure with her.
Would you recommend that she share her story here with us too?
Yes, of course. I'm doing another trip with her. Of course, she's a great person. Of course, I will.
Thank you.
Contact you. Yes.
Thank you. What a blessing. Amazing. Well, we have to wrap it up now. We have reached the end of our conversation. So thank you very much for explaining so many things and sharing your experiences and how you help people today. We are sure that there's so much that you have done and you still have to do. So that story about your trip and how you were sharing your daily, stages of your journey were really powerful. So we really would like to hear more about that. So thank you for being with us today, Laura. What a blessing. Thank you so much. And Stan, again, thank you for bringing another amazing guest to us and to our audience. Thank you so much.
It was my pleasure. And I'm looking forward to keeping on this trail of
absolutely
wonderful, inspiring people.
It is. Yes. It is, absolutely. So thank you very much. Again, this is Angel Ribo with Mindalia TV. Thank you very much for being with us today. I hope that you have enjoyed our conversation with Laura and with Stan as much as we have. Have a wonderful day and hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.